Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Peppi Live. Hi, Marisol. Hi. Hi, Brooke. How are you? We have ourselves an all new Tutorial Tuesday. Thank you, Lisa. We're so excited. Thank you. Give me 1 second, ladies. I am pulling up comments on my computer so I can read them a little bit easier than on my phone. All right. How is everybody? I hope everybody is doing good. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Lisa. Ladies, if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Tiffany. I am one of the owners of Peppi Gel. Tonight I am doing Tutorial Tuesday. And as you guys know, $12.99 is going on all week, not just during Tutorial Tuesday Live. So yeah, the color today is Chianti. That is on sale for $12.99. It is literally my favorite fall color that we have. It's a nice, like, burgundy-ish type red. Once you apply it, it's a little bit darker than what you're seeing in the jar here. So always remember your powder is going to be like a shade or two darker in the jar, or on your nails, than in the jar. So here's an up close of Chianti. That is the color that is on sale for $12.99 for today. And because we're celebrating our anniversary or our birthday week, there's going to be a $12.99 color every day, which we have never done that in the history of Peppi Gel. So pretty exciting. Thank you, Emily. I am about to show you guys my color here in a little bit. So this is Chianti. If we hit 500 viewers tonight, I will give a Chianti away. And if we hit 700 viewers, I will give away a Runaway Train, which is the color that I'm going to be working with. Now, normally on a Tutorial Tuesday, I would be working with the color that is $12.99. But since this week is a little bit different, I decided to go ahead and just be a little bit different. Usually I want to show the color that's on sale so you guys can see it in action, but you know, it's a little bit different, so I'm going to switch it up. Ashley, this color is $12.99, girl. $12.99. So we're taking the $12.99 Tuesday special and we're letting it go all day long. And every day there's going to be a different $12.99 color. And that's only for this week. So yes, there is a $12.99 color. And it's Chianti, the red. Very, very pretty. It's a very light shimmer. Easy to work with. It is a great color. And if we hit 500 viewers, I'm going to give a Chianti away tonight, and we're not very far. And if we hit 700 viewers, I'm going to give away a Runaway Train. And the only way we're going to get there is if you guys are inviting your friends and sharing the live so your friends can see it and so they can hop on. No sharing in the group, that's cheating. You got to share it on your personal page. Just saying. We're not too far from 500. Should I hang out until we hit it? Should I? Alright. So, 2 weeks ago was the last time I did live. And you guys wanted to see the apex method. And you wanted to see me do my pedicure on my non-dominant hand. So I did do that. I used Ocean Air Salty Hair. So this week I decided, because I was unsure of the apex method, excuse me, I got the hiccups, how I would like it, like with a darker color, like how the pigment would be, because technically, usually we do 3 layers of color, but with the apex method, we had 2 layers of clear and 2 layers of color, so it kind of affects the end result a little bit. So it's not going to be quite as intense in color as like you would see on the website. So I wanted to try it again because I did like it. I didn't dislike it. and just see, because last time was a lighter color, I wanted to do it with a darker color and just kind of see if I liked like if the color dispersed evenly, and it did, and I'm really happy about it. So I am going to show you on this hands the Apex method again, using Runaway Train, a darker color this time. I thought it would be really fitting because we are going into fall and we're going to be working with darker colors, more jewel tone colors. So I thought that would be just really great to kind of, you know, go over. So my nails are already prepped. My cuticles are nice and clean. You can see they're very clean. There's no overgrowth of cuticle on my nail bed. Highly important to prevent lifting. If you don't get that overgrown cuticle off your nail bed, you're guaranteed to have lifting. It is what it is. Like, you have to get that off of your nail bed. So my nails are prepped. It's been removed. They've been lightly buffed, and my cuticles are pushed back. And they are ready to go. So what we're going to do, oh my goodness, I almost just spilled that. What we are going to do is, after I fix the camera just a wee bit, is start with the clear. Now, I don't do the Apex method exactly the way that you guys shared the viral photo in the Peppi group. I'm kind of doing it the way that I want to do it for me personally. So you can change, you know, like how you do your Apex, like how you build it up. That's completely fine. The only thing we can't change is how we do our number 3, which we'll get to that way later in the end. So we are almost to 500. Come on, ladies. I know we can get there because I want to give away a Chianti. I really want to hit 700 because I really want to give away a Runaway Train, and I am not going to do it if we don't hit it, so make sure we hit it. So with the Apex method, you basically are like adding a nice curve to your nail, but you're really adding strength in the nail's like weakest point. So when you break a nail, see right there where my finger like lights white? That's my pressure point of where my nail would break if I wasn't being careful. So what I'm going to do on each nail is apply like a runway strip of clear right down the middle so I can create that curvature, but also add a little bit extra strength to where the pressure point is. So that is the point of the Apex, is to build strength, but also give a nice curve to your nail. If your nails are super short, it's not really the best method for you because it'll make them look a little bit thicker, but just hang in there because your nails will grow in like 2 to 6 weeks. So just hang in there and then you can do it too. So I'm going to take the number 1. And while I use it, before I forget, I'm going to be very careful to not get any liquid up here or on the side. This is an adhesive. So if you get that adhesive on, you know, the rim of the bottle, it's going to glue itself shut. So just keep that in mind while you're using your liquids. I see it happen often, even though this information is included in your directions, it's overlooked often. So just be very careful. I'm going very thin with my number 1. The key to natural looking nails after you do dip is to go very thin with your base. And when I say thin, I literally mean like thin. There's no liquid like dangling off my brush. Like, this is what it looks like when I swipe that brush on my nail. Oh my gosh, we're 2 away. Did we hit it? You guys are saying we hit it. Oh my, but I'm only seeing like we didn't. But I'm going to go with what you guys said. I trust you guys. All right, so let's get to 700. 700. So make sure you guys are inviting your friends and sharing the video, but not in the group. That's cheating. You got to share it on your own news feed. So I'm just doing a really thin runway strip right down the middle of my nail and dipping right into clear. The biggest question I see is, I just ordered a starter kit, but clear didn't come in it. You can choose clear for your starter kit, or you can add it to your cart, but you don't get 2 colors, you only get 1. And if you're new to Peppi, just know that clear is not required. You don't have to use it, but it is helpful, in the instance of wanting to build an apex, but it's also super, super helpful when working with glitters because you can encapsulate them and protect them. All right, we're sitting at 509, so I am giving away a Chianti tonight, but I also want to give away a Runaway Train, so let's hit that 700. And don't forget, if you didn't get your Chianti yet, it is on sale for $12.99. And I do have a tendency to talk a little fast, so I'm very sorry. Chandra said, what are some remedies to not be dried out from the acetone? That's a really great question. So you want your nails to be dry for the product to stick and last. So the acetone is really great in that manner because it really helps to keep your nail beds the way you need them for a long-lasting Peppi. But it does make your skin dry, right? So what I like to do after I finish my Peppi cure is I like to take a nice like sugar scrub that brings back moisture and Vaseline. So after I do my Peppi cure, I do a sugar scrub and Vaseline. And then my hands are like new again, like I never even touched the acetone. So if you're new, what I just did was I wiped off the loose powder off my nails using the Peppi duster brush. If you don't have one, you can order one on the site, or you can use any cosmetic brush that you have laying around at home, which is completely fine. But the purpose is to get that loose powder off your nail bed because you don't want it to stick on your number 1 brush over here and kind of, goop it up. So that is one of the biggest causes if your number 1 gets ruined, is because you're not, practicing removing that excess powder. Tina, I am doing a strip on my nail right now because I am showing everybody how to do the apex method my way. Alright, so now we're going to take the color Runaway Train. And like I was saying earlier, see how my nail is darker than the powder? That's what it like all the powders will always be darker because you're basically getting the powder wet with the liquids. So just imagine like a wet powder. That's how it's always going to look on your nail. Alright, so after I do my little runway strip down my nails, I'm now going to go in and I'm going to cover my entire nail, but I'm going to stop at about 90% up the nail bed. So the normal apex method I think has like 5 dips, and in my mind that's a little bit ridiculous. So I'm going to do basically 3.5 dips, and what I mean by 3.5 is I'm going to end up having like close to 3 full dips and then my little runway strip, which I'm counting as a half. And it does what it needs to do. It gives me that strength without making my nails look, thick and unnatural. So with the darker color, I am going to go up a little bit further on this dip than I normally would because I don't want like my cuticle line to look lighter than the rest of my nail. Like I don't want it to be a noticeable lighter look because I didn't do 2 full layers up there, if that makes sense. So this is about how far up I go. Now it looks like the powder is sitting really heavy, and it kind of is because Runaway Train is a thicker pigmented powder, but once I dust it off, you're going to see like they're going to be so smooth and even when we're all done. It's going to be amazing. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but with your powders, make sure you're stirring and loosening them up before you dip so you get a nice like flawless even dip. Did I maybe forget to wipe my nail or not wait the full 2 minutes? Definitely not, girl. Like, I'm not to that point yet, but thank you. Thank you for looking out for me. We're getting, that's after you do your number 2, so I will explain that as I get to it. With your number one, you just need to remember to dust off that excess powder using the Peppi duster brush or any cosmetic brush that you have lying around at home. So again, I'm going really thin with my liquid so I have full control over where I'm spreading it, how much I'm spreading, the whole nine. And I'm going to go nice and slow so you guys can see. And I see we're hanging steady over 500. I really want to give 2 colors away tonight, so make sure you guys are inviting your friends and sharing our videos so we can hit 700 and be giving away 2 colors tonight. So just remember, thin amount of base, a thin layer of number one ready. You can always add more liquid, but you can't really take it away. So start with a little and add more if you need to, like I just did with my finger here, because it is a wider finger. It's my middle finger. And then tap it off. With the thicker pigmented colors, you might find that you need to stir more than one time to keep the powder nice and loose. So just kind of pay attention. Like as you're dipping, if the powder gets compact, then you need to loosen it up. Do I sanitize my cuticle pushers when doing a client? If you are doing clients or sharing nail tools, 100% yes. This is my personal set, which I do sanitize as well. You always want to sanitize your hands or anybody else's hands. And, you know, if you're sharing powders with anybody, just make sure they're not a person who's like dipping in their powder with open wounds. That's kind of yucky and gross. That's why I kind of keep a personal set. I don't like that. All right, so I save my thumb to dust off for last because if I paint it, dip it, and then dust it off with this, it's going to be a little bit too soon. The powder's not going to be dry, and it's going to kind of get crusty right here. Uh-oh, got a little hair right there. And that's how I know. So I always do it last before I go and apply my layer of dip over it. Alicia, if I said your name right, thank you, thank you. I actually just shortened them, and I don't feel like I shortened them quite enough. They're still really long, but that's okay. I'm not planning on doing anything crazy while I have these on. Alright, so I'm just going over my thumb because it is wider, so I just want to make sure I covered all my bare spots and spread that liquid out nice and good. So now if I went to go dust that right now, this powder wouldn't be set, so I always wait to the end when I'm about to do that. And as you can see, like, see the difference in these 2 fingers versus these 2? You can see like all that extra powder coming off. And if you forget to wipe that off and you go to dip or paint your nails to dip, all of that powder is going to gunk up on your liquid and it's not going to be good the next time you go to use it. So just make sure you're wiping that excess powder off. Elizabeth, tonight's color is Chianti, and I'm giving one away because we already hit 500 viewers, but if we hit 700 viewers, I'm going to give away a Runaway Train, which is a perfect fall color. Actually, Chianti is my favorite all-time fall color. And then Runaway Train is also amazing. Okay, I'm looking at the hearts and likes, and I have an angry face. What did I do? Who's giving me an angry face? My goodness. We're doing nails. All right, so now I'm going to go in. And I'm going to go ahead and paint all the way up this time, stopping a hairline before the cuticle, never on the cuticle. Very important that you know the difference of a hairline before the cuticle and never on it. If your dip is on your cuticle, as your nail grow out, you're guaranteed to have lifting. So now I'm just taking an orange wood stick. You can get these anywhere. We're actually going to have them on our site here soon. But I just take that pointy end and I run it right around my cuticle line. And that's how I get like my end result, my perfect end result cuticles where they're just clean and nice and even. Alright, so now I'm going on over here. I put a little too much liquid on that time, but that's okay because I'm going to spread it out. And by the time I buff it out, it's going to look so awesome. If you're applying your nails, or applying the color to your nails and you find that the powder didn't stick all the way, like on the sidewalls is like one of the major culprit spots, it's because your nails are too slick, meaning they weren't prepped as good as they should have been. If your nails are too slick, it won't hold on to the product. And then it'll make it look like, you know, that the number one dried before you dipped. That's not the case. It's simply just that your nails are too slick and it can't like grab onto the powder and hold on to it. So very important to remember, like, it's okay. I mean, it still happens to me where I think I prepped my nails like really perfect and then I'm like, oh man, I actually missed a spot. Because it's hard to see sometimes, so it's okay. The more you do it, the better you get. And the more you keep Peppi on your fingers, the more acclimated your nails become to wear the product. Gina, I am wiping the excess powder off. I think you're confusing step 1 with step 3. And somebody asked if Runaway Train was retired. It is not. It is currently in stock. There's not a whole lot of it, so if you want one, definitely grab one. And if you're getting that, you might as well get your $12.99 color Chianti because it is truly like such a classic, beautiful fall red color. It really is a classic. It's so pretty. Alright, and again, my middle finger is whiter, so I'm just taking my time spreading the number 1 all the way out and then dipping in. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my little stick, push on my cuticle more than the product. I push my cuticle back, that way I'm not like creating a gap where it looks like it grew out already. Just push the cuticle back and kind of wipe it around. Alright, so now I'm going to go into my pointer finger. So again, thin layers of number 1. And take your time spreading it out. And fan that brush up and kind of slide up towards the cuticle area. And then even out your number 1. And then dip right into the powder. Scoop, scoop. And again, I'm just evening out my cuticle line. And I love it. So now I'm going to wipe off my thumb because remember I do that last. And now I'm going to go over here and do my thumb. So just thin layers of number 1. Chianti is the color that's $12.99 tonight. So make sure you grab one. Yeah, scoop, scoop. Oh, sometimes I just make random words. I don't know what I'm doing. Alright, so now, again, I'm just taking my time, spreading out that number 1 and making sure I get full coverage this round because it is my last layer of color. and stopping a hairline before the cuticle. Before the cuticle. Cannot stress it enough. If you're new to Peppi, be patient with yourself, because while application overall is pretty easy, it still takes a few practices. And you have to remember, like, we're teaching you how to be your own nail tech. So nail techs go to school for however long they go to school to, like, learn the craft of doing nails and, like, perfecting it. You're essentially doing that when you take Peppi Gel on as a self-care product, right? So you have to learn how to do it yourself, but once you give it a couple tries, you really watch the tutorials, because, I mean, I give out so much information in the tutorials, like, it will really, really help you if you really just take the time to invest in yourself, and then it becomes super easy to do, honestly, like, so easy. Okay, so now I'm going to use, again, the Peppi Duster Brush, and I'm just wiping off all that excess powder. And this time I want to make sure I really wipe it off nice and good. I got a little black paint there. I couldn't get it off. But I really want to make sure I wipe it off nice and good, because I am going to use clear now, and I'm going to dip into the jar of clear, because even though I should pour, I don't. I like to dip. But I don't want any of that runaway train to transfer into the clear, so it's important that we get as much of that excess powder off. Now, if you want to be super careful, you can definitely pour the clear over versus dipping it in, but I like to dip, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so now I am going to do a third and final dip, again, covering the whole nail, stopping a hairline before the cuticle. Oh, whoever left me an angry face took it away, but now I just see a new one floating. Okay, I'm confused. All right, so 1 second, ladies. Carolyn said, thoughts on a stiff brush versus a soft brush between dips? I gotta be honest, Carolyn, I've never used a stiff brush. I've just never really found it necessary. But yeah, that's totally a preference call, so whichever one you prefer. So the apex method is really nice. You can see on the side view of my nails, like, look at that curve that it creates. And what it does is it builds that strength that I was talking about earlier, but it elongates the nail beds and the fingers and gives them, like, a slimmer look. So it's really great if you have longer nails. That's why I actually really liked it and came back to it for a second time this week, because I have wide fingers, so anything that can help me make them look more narrow is a plus in my book. Alright, so now I am going in with my final dip using clear, and I'm still waiting for 700 viewers because I want to give away a runaway train tonight. I really do. But I can only do that with your help. So now it kind of looks like the clear is, like, taking the color away, but it's really not. Once you activate it and buff it and shine it, the color is in its pure true form, because this is crystal clear. Oh, Jericho says my nails are perfect. Thank you. Do I always do clear in the end? I wouldn't say always, but I definitely, like, 80 to 90% of the time use clear. Especially with glitter, because you can really encapsulate the glitter in its truest form, so it won't lose, like, a little bit of its color as you go to buff it out. So that is, like, my favorite reason why I love clear personally, is to really encapsulate glitter. But also with the apex method, it's really great because You can do this method with the color that you're using, the primary color. So I could have done this whole thing with just Runaway Train. But the problem that I have with that is that this is a thicker pigmented powder versus zero pigment in clear, which means this is a thin, fluffy, loose powder. So my end result by doing both is going to be thinner than if I did all dips with just the Runaway Train. So you can do it, you know, with just the color. It's okay. You don't have to have clear, but if you want it to look thinner, I do recommend it because there's no pigment in the clear and it's just a thin, pure powder. All right, so I have 2 more dips and then we're gonna get on to the next part. So I see that our viewers dropped a little bit. I know you ladies are sharing, but if everybody shared, if all 460 people shared, I guarantee we would skyrocket over 700. I really want to give away Runaway Train because it is a beautiful end of summer into fall and even Christmas all year long color. I specifically love jewel tone colors, so fall is most definitely my favorite time of year because now I get to wear all my favorite colors. And trust me, you will see Chianti on my fingers here soon. It is my favorite fall color that we have. Alright, so I just finished my thumb, and that is our last and final dip. So real quick, 700 viewers, I will give this away, Runaway Train. If we don't hit it, it's okay. I still love you guys. But this is Chianti. This is the color that is $12.99 tonight. Alright, so now I'm going to wipe off the excess powder one last time. And now that my thumb had a second to sit, I can wipe that off. And now we're going to take out our number 2, which is the activator. So the most important thing to know about your number 2 is that it is the curing agent of the entire system. So right now, its job is to cure the powder and the number 1 together, but also later, it's going to be used to cure the number 3 to create that shine. So I see all the time, like, my brush got hard. I don't understand why. It is because of your number 2, but I'm going to go over how to prevent that, which is really important. Like, you have to, the way you apply your shine has to have preventative measures so your brush doesn't get hard. So I will get to that in a minute. I don't want to confuse you guys just yet. So on the first layer of number 2, you really want to make sure you're covering your whole nail. You want to get up around the cuticle, in on the sidewalls, all the middle, and the tip of your nail. Very important because if you don't, that is another reason why you can have lifting. Wah, wah, wah. Nobody wants to have lifts. Amy has 92 colors and 8 more on the way. Oh yeah, that's a nice collection. Somebody says to be frugal with the color. I'm curious about that comment, so I'm going to go back up and see what they mean. I'm still scrolling. I saw the name, but there's so many comments. Maybe I won't find it. I don't know. I guess not. Oh well. Gail says she is loving Peppi. Girl, we are loving you. I am using Runaway Train. Carolyn, Runaway Train with Boss Babe would be amazing. Nisha Marie said she bought 27 colors. Girl, add to that collection. If number 3 feels hot, that typically means you applied too much number 2. That is the reaction that creates when you apply too much number 2. Lizette said, pick me. It's my birthday at the end of the month. Oh man, I'm picking at random. Okay, so a lot of you might be wondering, why am I just sitting here right now? After you apply your number 2, you need to wait 2 minutes so it can kind of harden the powder, activate the whole 9. Oh yeah, real quick, mystery boxes are going out this week. The subscription box is going out this week, and then the pre-order boxes from the July release are also going out this week. All of them except for whoever ordered the box that has First Class Sass and Model Behavior. Those will be going out as late as Monday, but all the other ones will be going out. We're still in fulfillment, so what we're doing is trying to get them out as quick as we can. But basically, all the mystery boxes will be out by Monday the latest. Alright, so it's been 2 minutes. We had a nice little chit chat, so now we're going to get back into the tutorial. And what I am going to do is pull out the drill, and just real quick, Chianti, $12.99. If we hit 700 viewers, I'm giving away a runaway train because somebody needs it in their collection. I just know it. Alright, so I am using a portable bell drill. I posted a link to it in the Facebook group under the announcements tab, or the units tab, I'm sorry. If you go under the units tab, there's actually a lot of information under that tab, so I highly recommend checking it out, especially if you're new. Somebody did ask, how do I get a lid unstuck on my liquids? The best thing you can do is prevent it, because if your lid gets stuck and you try to force it open, you risk the bottle breaking in your hand, and I don't think that would be a fun experience. So in order to prevent it, I'll go over it again for both your 1 and your 3. You really just want to make sure that liquid does not get on the bottle's rim, and make sure you're always storing your bottle standing up. Nicole says, you're so emotional, girl. Whatever's going on, I know if you do your nails, it'll make you feel better. Alright, so I'm using the drill, and I'm just doing a light little smooth over on the nails. So I actually use a drill and a buffer. I like the finish of the buffer, but I like giving myself just a little jump start. If you don't have a drill, you don't need it. You can do the whole thing by buffer, 100%. I've done it before, and I would do it now. I just get carpal tunnel in my hand, so I don't like that. It hurts. So right now I'm just, again, doing a nice little smooth over, getting the nails nice and smooth. And ladies, if you have friends that you've referred to Peppi, make sure they watch the tutorials, honestly. The kit comes with directions, but I think if you can hear us talk and see a visual of how we apply, it really will make the learning curve a lot quicker. Alright, so now we're just going in over here. So with the Apex method, I really don't mind on the darker colors just doing 2 dips. What you will realize though, if you're doing 2 dips, your color might not match what the swatch looks like online, because those are 3 dips. And they are actual swatches. They're not computerized or anything like that. They're just zoomed in swatches taking up close in a natural studio light. So if you see some variation, which you will, it's going to be because of skin tones. It's going to be the contrast on your computer from how you ordered it versus the person next to them. or maybe the number of dips you apply. So if you apply 2 dips or 4 dips, it's not going to match exactly our 3 dips that we use on the sticks. So just keep that in mind. That's another thing I see, but also you can get a good gauge like in the group with all the other babes wearing colors. You can kind of see like what it looks like on. And I've been doing a lot of plain Peppi cures because I'm trying to upload them into the website so you guys can see what it looks like on somebody's hands. So it will take me forever to do every single color. But as I do my nails every week or 2 weeks or whenever, I am making it a goal to kind of stay basic, even though you guys want to see other stuff, just so we can get some more colors, like photos, up on the website. Alright, and then I'm going to just smooth over on my thumb, and then we're going to pull out the buffer. So if you guys are on, please, please, please stay on to the very end, because learning how to do your number 3 is truly the most important part. And if you don't like really take the time to like learn it, it can be a little bit of a frustrating process. So I want to save you the headache and teach you everything that you need to know. Alright, so now I'm going to put the drill away, and I'm going to take out my handy buffer. I like to use a used up buffer. I like the way that it finishes on the Peppi here, but I also like it when I'm prepping my nails because it's less abrasive to the nail bed. So if you're anything like me, you don't want to damage my actual nail beds, it's really great. Debbie, Runaway Train is in stock. Let me double check. Everybody keeps asking. I thought I just checked before live. 1 second, ladies. Let me double check while I have the computer up. I'm like, I know it's in stock. I looked. 1 second. I'm going to reassure myself right now. I could be going crazy. Runaway Train is in stock. It is in stock. I'm not going crazy. It's in stock, so go ahead and grab yourself one of those and a Chianti. So as you're buffing your nails, always keep the foam side of the buffer at your cuticle's end, because it'll be much more gentle on your cuticle. You won't end up nicking it up from the sandpaper on the buffer. And you guys can see, like, look at that coming together so nice. My shape is a little off on this one. Before live, I kind of chipped a corner and I had to, like, fix it a little bit, but that's okay. I shouldn't have had my nails off and doing stuff, but I did. So you can see, like, look at that curve. It just creates such a beautiful curve, and it makes the finger look skinny and elongated. So as your nails grow out, definitely consider the apex method. I won't use that for chunky glitters. Like, my method for chunky glitters is very specific because it works the best in my personal opinion. But you totally can if you wanted to, I guess. You would just have a little bit more dipping to do. Ooh, Halloween nails. Yeah, I'm going to have to do something for that. So we've basically done tutorials on just about everything for dip powder, but I mean, if there's something that you want to see again, or maybe specific colors that we have in action, drop us some comments. Let us know what you want to see so we can kind of incorporate those ideas. Dana, I explained the apex method in the very beginning of the video. I do highly recommend watching that. But basically, you're building strength and, you know, a nice curve to your nail so it looks nice and slim. And as you guys can see, like, my dips are really nice and smooth because I had full control over my liquid as I was applying, so my buffing is very minimal. However, I am super OCD and I want my nails to be as thin and natural as possible, so I definitely put some elbow grease into my buffing to get those results, but I'm not overdoing it. You know, I'm not going crazy, but I'm doing enough that I need to feel happy. You can buff as much or as little as you want. This part is a personal preference. And that is my final finger. And that's it. So you can see, like, even though I buffed a lot, it was really fast. Alright, so here is what my nails are looking like right now. So I have obviously applied all of my dips. I activated, I drilled / buff. Now, although I prepped my nails prior to starting live and shaped them, once you apply an overlay onto your nails, it will change the shape a little bit. So now I'm going to take my handy dandy file and go ahead and touch all of that up. I saw a really great question that I want to read. Oh, there it is. Michaela says, have we considered adding more colors that complement darker skin tones? Girl, please, like, comment, like, what type of colors that would be. Like, help us help you guys, or help whoever that wants, like, certain types of colors. Just let us know what you're looking for, because we have pastels and neons and jewel tones and, you know, all of that stuff. Obviously, I have lighter skin. I know it's such a sensitive topic, so I don't want to be offensive in any way, but so just help us, you know, and let us know what you're looking for, and we'll definitely produce more of those colors. So I'm going to go ahead and touch up my shape. So normally I use the edge of my desk because it really gives me stability, but you guys can't see that. So I'm going to use the edge of my buffer block. And I generally like to use a contrasting background. More fall colors. I'd really love to see a dark purple. Tammy said some more neons, more corals. Mini jars we will not do. It is not the most cost-effective route. Yeah, so just let me know. Yeah, Michaela, let me know what type of colors you're looking for. I'm really interested to see that. If you actually email me, peppygel@gmail.com, maybe like some Google images that you find of what you're looking for, it will really help me for sure. Sylvia says a kit for the seasons that has 4 or 5 complementary colors. I really like that. Metallics are harder to do with dip. So Melissa, we did have polish. It wasn't very popular when we had it. So we're kind of indecisive in the moment on whether we're going to bring them back or not. So if we get enough requests, then we definitely would be interested in making more again. All right. So there's how my pinky looks. Alright, so now I'm just going in. It's actually, this part is really slow for me during a live because the buffer's not as stable as the edge of the desk. You know what? The heck with it. I'm just going to show you guys. I'm going to bring the camera to the edge of the desk. 1, the process will be so much quicker, and 2, you can really see like how I do it. You're going to see my lap. And you're going to see my ripped up jeans. I'm sorry. But, so what I do is I put my finger on the edge of the desk, and I have a contrasting background. So in this case, Runaway Train is contrasting with my little background thing that I have here. So it makes it really easy, but it keeps my hand stable. I can visualize my nail and keep the shape exactly how I want it to be. Okay. I love seeing all of these color requests. Therese, if you accidentally ordered 4 of the same color, girl, that's so funny. But yeah, just if they haven't been opened, reach out to us and we will help you out. So again, my email is peppygel@gmail.com. Alright, so now I'm just kind of fixing up my shape. Hopefully you guys can see, but you can see how I maneuver, like on the edge of the desk. Like I just maneuver my nail around, and it makes it really easy. Again, it gives me that full control to get exactly what I want in my shape. And the other thing, I don't think I mentioned it on this live, even though I mention it on quite a few lives, is I don't cut my nails at all anymore. And it's really helped to get my shape as good as I can get it and improving every time I do my nails. Because what I would do before is I would cut and it wouldn't be even or whatever was going on. And I would literally overcompensate, like trying to fix it in my shape. Like even though the shape was good, it wasn't fantastic in my opinion. The banana files are really great for the step that I'm on right now. However, I am at my home office this evening and I don't have all of my supplies here, so I am just using a random nail file right now. As you can see, it works fine, but definitely if I had my choice, I would have the banana file right now because it maneuvers way better than a regular file. And then I always like forget to bring home, you know, what I need to do it from home. So I think next week, Maggie and I will be doing a live together, which hasn't happened in like 9 months because we just have had different schedules, so we've been rotating the lives. But I'm really excited that we're going to do one together, and I don't know if she still wants me to, but she's asked me to do her nails. I don't know if she wants me to or not, so we'll see. But either way, whatever Peppi Cure we do next week is going to be amazing. Because it's Peppi. Alright, so right now my thumb is the hardest one to do. Okay, so now I have fixed the shape on all of my nails. You always have to do a touch-up after Peppi or any overlay on your nail because it changes the shape of your nail. Even though you shaped it prior, you're adding layers onto your nail, so it changes it just a wee bit. So at this point, this is when you really want to investigate your nails, make sure you're happy with the shape and all your buffing and everything else that you need to do. Because if you're like me, you don't want to fix it later. So I like to just kind of go over one more time and make sure everything is smoothed out. And that's it. If your number 3 gets stuck, it's because liquid got onto your bottleneck and rim. It's super important that you avoid that at all costs. Trying to force a bottle open is highly frowned upon because it could break into your hands and we don't want that to happen to you. So the $12.99 color tonight is Chianti. Definitely an amazing fall color for sure. Okay. now that I've just been so chatty, I'm going to go ahead and finish this Peppi cure. So we are going to take the number 2 one more time, and remember the number 2 is the curing agent of the system. So we already used it once to cure the number 1 and the powder together. Now we're going to use it to cure the shine coat, the final top coat to seal everything in. So this time you don't want to apply your number 2 heavy. You want to do just enough to cover the nails so it can absorb into the nail bed for 2 minutes prior to applying your shine coat. So if you over apply the number 2, it's not going to absorb the way that it's supposed to, making your shine result not fantastic, not what you're looking for. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. So it's very important that you do it specific the way we do it in the lives, the way that it's in your starter kit instruction sheet. Oh my gosh, $100 for the Spellbound? My goodness. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and just do that nice light coat, making sure I get the sidewalls and the tip of my nail. So again, you don't need to do anything heavy. You want just enough so it can absorb into the nail bed for 2 minutes, but not too much because it won't absorb properly. But 2 minutes and a little bit of number 2. So as you guys can see, it's so far coming out super awesome. Scylla says, thank you, Peppi, for not requiring a UV lamp. Girl, we got ya. Alright, so real quick, it's 9:25, so I'm watching the clock at 9:27. I'm going to begin my number 3. 2 minutes is the key to this step. Anything less, anything longer, your shine is not going to be shiny. Back to the UV lamp thing, yeah, it's like going into a tanning bed or being in the sun and just being exposed to UV. Like, we are so against that because, you know, it's not good for you, but gel nails are pretty, I won't lie about that, but the UV light is not good for you. So you definitely got to be careful with that. So I have another minute. I'm going to go ahead and take my paper towel and I'm going to wipe off that number 2 residue left onto the nail bed. So you want to use a plain paper towel or some kind of lint-free cloth to wipe it out. Now I'm going to fold the paper towel so the side that I did not use to wipe my nails is exposed because that is the side that I'm going to wipe my brush on. So for everybody asking at the beginning of the live about wiping my brush, this is when it is important, right here. Tori, that's so scary. So if you guys didn't see Tori's comment, she says a friend of mine had cancer in her finger and had to have surgery all because of the UV light. And girl, like, I have known several people that have had that happen to, and I'm so sorry that has happened to your friend, and I hope she's okay. Alright, so now we are at 2 minutes. Amanda, the color on sale tonight is Chianti right here. It's a beautiful fall red, my favorite. Alright, so we're at 2 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and do our number 3. We're going to do 2 to 3 quick strokes on the first layer and wipe the brush on a paper towel. Try not to overlap too much those layers because all you're doing is spreading the number 2 around and then it's not going to be shiny in the end. You want your number 3 to be thin, but you don't want it to be too thin. If it's too thin, it's not going to have the shine that you want, but you want it to be mostly thin. So we wiped our brush on a different spot of the paper towel. Now we're going to go in instantly and do our final layer of shine. And we're going to seal the free edge while we are here. This layer you can overlap, it's okay. But the first layer, you do not want to overlap it. And this is it. Final finger. You guys can see, like, so shiny. I love it. I love it so much. This color is so awesome. Really great for fall. Actually, like I said, it's really great all year long, but it is a jewel tone, so it is really pretty in the fall. Okay, so Veronica, the second layer, you don't have to wipe it. So when you did your first layer and you wiped your nails, like, you created a barrier layer in between the number 2 and the final layer of shine. So it's a barrier layer in between to create the effect that we're going for. So I wipe it only on the first round. If you're being extra cautious, you most certainly can continue to wipe it during your second round. But you guys, you just got to trust the process. Like, honestly, just trust the process, follow our directions, and your results will be so beautiful. I know they will, because I see your pictures in the Facebook group, and they are amazing. You guys do so good. But if you're new, like, really take the time to learn it and then understand it, and, you know, you're going to have salon quality nails. Oh, thank you, Ashley. So this is Runaway Train. We didn't hit 700 to give that color away, but we did hit 500 to give away a Chianti, which I am very excited about because everybody needs Chianti. It is my favorite. And I love seeing this on other people's hands as well. So, I can't really scroll and pick because my phone is tied up to record the live. So let me think about how I want to give this away. Kathy, thank you so much. Yeah, and then after 2 minutes, your nails are set and dry and ready to go. No UV lights, no wiping them with acetone again or whatever it is they do at the salon. Like, you are set, ready to go. What I like to do after my Peppi cure is a really nice sugar scrub. I get all that dry skin off from the acetone. And then I lather my hands in Vaseline. And let me just tell you that doing those two things bring back instant moisture to my hand. And you never even know that I just had my fingers in acetone. So, yeah, Sylvia says, winter time. Let me just stop talking so I can give this away. Oh, man, I don't know how I'm going to pick tonight. This is the most stressful part of live. This is so stressful. I can't scroll and pick. My phone is recording, and you guys can't see my computer. Oh, my gosh. How am I going to do this? Chikora, did I say that right, girl? You ordered Chianti. Thank you. Yeah, the coconut acetone is helpful. I find that it takes like a minute longer to remove, so I don't know. Maybe it's just me. All right. Oh, Melanie, I can't do a number because you guys aren't going to know. Like, yeah. Oh my gosh. This is so stressful. So stressful. Let me think of a Peppi trivia. Golly. I'm literally so stressed about this. Liliana says, I'll make it easy. Just pick me. Oh, girl, I wish I could cop out that way. Okay. No, that won't work either. If you're new, you guys wouldn't know that. I don't want to do trivia. Is this torture or is this just super annoying? Miranda wants a finger tattoo. So I have 2 finger tattoos. I'll tell you what. The first person who can answer either story about either tattoo. It doesn't matter which one. Whoever can answer whatever the story is going to be the first person to answer that, going off of my feed, because it's going to be different than yours. I'm going to pick. And I just talked about both of these 2 weeks ago, so everybody does have a fair chance. Heather got it. Heather got it. I mean, it was kind of easy, or obvious, but yeah, this is my wedding ring. So Heather, please email me, peppygel@gmail.com. And that is Heather Brown. She was the first person to guess, but this is my wedding ring written in Thai. And this is my grandmother's handwriting, which is why it says love. But, yep, those are my stories. Okay, so enough about me. I am going to go and get lazy for the rest of the evening. Just kidding, I'm going to go and do some work. But I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of the week. And I'm very thankful that I got to do live with you guys this evening. It is literally my favorite part of Peppy, is to be able to give these tutorials because they're so helpful, and I just love seeing your results in the Facebook group. Like, I truly love it so much. But anyways, I hope you guys have a fantastic evening, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week or the week after. All right, good night.